Hey guys, I got my hands on China Glaze's Spring Fling Collection, so I'm going to review that for you today. There are 12 polishes in this collection. I found mine at nailsupplies.us, which is formerly known as Trans Design. They were $3.25 and I just paid about $10 shipping, so it was a pretty good deal. Came here in about 4 days, so definitely would recommend. So the first polish is Blanc Out. This is a white cream polish. This white is amazing. It is not chalky. I had no problems with it. It was a two-coater, fully opaque. China Glaze, you are killing it. This definitely leans towards the cool side. So if cool tones don't look good on you, I would skip this one. But if you're looking for a good white, hands down, I would recommend this over any other white I've ever tried. Next up is We Run This Beach. This is a nude shade and it definitely leans a little pink. You do need to be careful when you're applying this because it did have a tendency to run into my cuticles, but I was able to get it opaque in 2 coats. Next up is Life is Sweet. This is a nude and it definitely leans more peach. I gotta say, for a matte formula, this is amazing. You do need to work a little bit faster working with any matte, but with this one I didn't find that it was drying on me while I was applying it, and I was able to get this opaque in 2 coats. If you have significant ridges in your nails though, I would definitely recommend 3 coats because mattes tend to show the ridges in your nails a little bit more. Next up is I Just Cant-aloupe. This is a coral shade and it was a 2-coater. It was a little bit thick, but I really liked it. There's not really anything super unique about this, but it was a good one. Next up is Buns Out, Buns Out. This I would say is a pink base with gold shimmer in there, so it definitely gives a peachy feel to it. I applied this alone using 3 coats and I could still see my nail line, so I would keep this just as a topper. I applied it over Life is Sweet, which it looks really good, and I also applied it over I Just Cant-aloupe, and I think it looked best over that one. The formula in this was really good, but I kind of expect that from toppers. Next up is Moment in the Sun, and I could definitely see this being kind of like a sunset type polish. It's a pink base and there's that gold shimmer in there. When I look at this one, I think frosty. This one was opaque in 2 coats. It applied pretty well. There was very, very light streaking, so if you are very particular about that, I would skip this one. The streaks weren't awful, but they were there, so just a heads up. Next up is Kiss My Sherbet Lips. This is a fuchsia, and there is some shimmer in there, but I gotta say, I don't think that it's very strong, and it's definitely not a contrasting shimmer either. This one was really good, and it was opaque in 2 coats. Next up, we have Too Much of a Good Fling. This one reminded me so much of For Audrey, but this one is definitely more green, and it's much more vibrant. For Audrey looks a little bit dual sitting next to this one. This one had a great formula and I was able to get opaque in just 2 coats. Next up is Don't Teal My Vibe. This is a teal shimmer polish. It looks maybe like this might be a frosty polish. That's what I think of when I look at this. It was opaque in 2 coats, but it stained. Even just the maybe 5 minutes that I had this on, it started staining my nails. Next up is Crushin on Blue. This is a blue polish. I feel like it's more indigo though than just blue, and it does look like there's maybe some neon pigment in there. This one is also a frosty polish. I don't really know what's going on here. I'm a little bit confused about that. This one was, again, it was opaque in 2 coats, but I could still see the streaks, so heads up. Next up is It's About Time. This is a silver metallic-y color with green running throughout it. It looks a little bit murky to me. This one was opaque in 2 coats, but again, I could still see the streaks, so I'm not particularly fond of this, although the formula was pretty great. Next up is Beach It Up. I would say that this is a champagne foil polish with micro glitter in there, as well as bar holographic glitter in there. This one was opaque in 1 to 2 coats. I do have wide thumb nail beds, so I did have to apply a 2nd coat, but if you have thinner nail beds, obviously that's not an issue. But I wanted to let you guys know that this one did dry a little bit more textured than I was expecting. I think those bar glitters just kind of stuck out a bit, so just keep that in mind. Use a thicker top coat if that bothers you. So these are not very unique colors, but I gotta say, they are killing it on the formula, and in this collection. I mean, this white is amazing. I've never ever dealt with a white that was this great. So I would definitely recommend this one out of the whole collection. But my favorite is Life is Sweet. This was that peach leaning nude that dries matte, and you guys know I'm loving the mattes. So let me know what you guys think of this collection, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!